So there was this group of Christian street agitators at a music event I was at. It's called NAMM, and it's basically a music convention for instruments and products. And I went up and talked to them because I was trying to listen to a gospel group, but they were screaming so loud nobody could enjoy the actual music, and it was annoying.
A lot of your music promotes adultery. A lot of your music promotes drunkenness. A lot of your music legends are burning in hell. You listen to reggae, you become a pothead. Bob Marley, that music legend amongst the reggae scene, is burning in hell. He was no Christian. He was no son of God. He was no child of God. A lot of your music legends are burning in hell.
I can't confirm that this group was Christian, but it sounded to me like Christian gospel music, and I had a loud megaphone screeching in my ear that I couldn't even hear. So I walked over to the guy, and since I couldn't get all of the audio, I'll play some. I said, "Hey brother, I'm a Christian. I love God. I love the Bible. I love Jesus. I don't mind that you guys preach, but what are you trying to accomplish screaming loudly in my ears so I can't hear what appears to be a Christian gospel group? Why are you trying to drown out gospel music and annoy everybody here?" And the first thing he says to me is, "Oh, you just don't want to hear the word of God." And I'm like, dude, I can't even hear anything. It sounds like white noise. Half the stuff is inaudible because you're at a music conference purposely competing against a gospel group of a bunch of talented melodic people singing in harmony, and you're screeching on a cheap megaphone. But I was respectful and I said, "Brother, who is this going to convince? I'm all for preaching the hard parts of the Bible. Trust me, I like the word of God. I don't want you to water it down. I don't think everybody has to be that type of preacher. I like the tough truth, but it's just the approach." And it feels like people like that are just driving people away from God and the Bible. It's not because they're preaching the tough parts. It's just because they're being annoying. And in this world, people don't have to like you. People don't have to listen to you. And sometimes you got to be a little aggressive, I understand. But I tried to have a friendly convo with them and say, if you really cared, if you really wanted to connect with people or talk to them, then you'd come to the event and have conversations with people, not scream over music and yell at people. I've actually met groups like this before where they recognized me. They said, "Hey, Anomaly, I love your channel." So I got love for these people. Don't get it twisted. Everybody has their different way of contributing to society, and I like the tough truth. But I've seen other groups like this just start screaming at people, pointing, saying, "You're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell." And they don't even know if they're Christian. The person that's walking in the street might be a more disciplined Christian than them. It's not like they're looking at an atheist or looking at someone that's not Christian. It's like, "Hey, you're going to hell because you're not Christian." I could kind of understand that, honestly. But they're just pointing at random people that they know nothing about, they've never spoken to, they have no idea what their views are or how dedicated they are to the Bible and the word of the Lord, just screaming at them. It makes me really wonder, who are these groups and really what are they trying to accomplish? Because to me, it's just repelling people further away from the Bible and Christianity in general. Here's the video I took as my initial reaction right after it happened, and let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. What's up, my friends? So I'm here at the NAMM show, a music show, and I just had a conversation with that guy over there, you know, Christian. I came up to him and I said, because there's actually, I don't know if you guys could hear it because they're so loud. There's Christian performers, I believe, on the stage singing gospel music. Like, it's obviously there's some like demonic people and demonic music. I'm not against telling those people to stop, but there's literally been Christian performers and people that are like, it's beautiful gospel music. And these guys are just standing at this event screaming at people with these signs saying they're going to hell. I came up to him and I said, "Hey brother, I'm a Christian. I love the word of God. I love the Bible. I love Jesus. Why are you screaming over gospel music? And why are you screaming in everybody's face? And do you think that's going to help anybody?" And he's like, "Well, you have a problem with the word of God?" I'm like, "Not at all, dude. But I can't even hear, like, the megaphone's so loud, you can't even hear a single word they're saying. It's just like, you know, there's beautiful gospel music in the background, and then this guy just has like screechy, you know, it's just like loud megaphone in your ear sort of thing, like white noise. And it's like, bro, I can't hear a single word you're saying. I don't hear a Bible verse. I don't hear anything. You can't hear it because you're just yelling at me. He's like, "You have a problem with the word?" I said, "No, sir, I don't have a problem with the word of God. I don't understand what you're doing." how is this gonna help? And then he's like, I'm like, there's an event here. He's like, this is my event. They're interrupting my event. So I'm like, gospel performers at a music event that are probably all Christian. I can't prove that, but they're probably all Christian, singing about the Lord in a beautiful way like churches do. That's interrupting your event that you came here just to scream in everyone's face. And I tried to have a convo with him. I mean, I ended up shaking his hand at the end. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Those type of people honestly don't bother me. I've been to events where they're yelling and, you know, I'll go up and talk to them. Sometimes some of them recognize me. They're like, yo, Anomaly, you know, and everybody has an approach. I don't mind a hard-nosed approach. I don't mind getting in people's face, making it uncomfortable. But I'm like, you know, he's like, I got to spread the word. This is the only way they're going to hear me. And it's just like, no one can hear you because it's so loud through a megaphone. It don't even sound like anything. It just sounds like gibberish. So I told him, I was like, if you really cared and you really wanted to spread the word of God and spread the Bible, and you really cared about getting your message across to these people, you could come to this event, or honestly, you could sit outside for free if he doesn't want to pay or have a media pass, and you can have conversations with people. Just act normal and be like, hey, can you sit down for a second? Can I tell you about the Lord? You know, like, to me, that would work better. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. I don't think everyone needs to be like me. I like people who go harder in the paint, hard line. I have no problem with that. I have no problem preaching the uncomfortable parts of the Bible to people. I like that, honestly. I like people who do things that I don't do. I just don't understand this approach of like how they just show up to an event and scream over gospel music and just cause a scene. And now everybody hates them. I'm a Christian. I love God. I love the Bible. I would love if they were preaching it like accurately, honestly, etc. But they're annoying everyone here. So now you have people, this is just my view. You have a bunch of people and it's like, this is why they hate Christians. This is why they've fallen from the Lord, because it's like they grow up and, you know, I just heard a story the other day where it's like their father was a pastor, but he was also an alcoholic, where everybody has flaws, everybody has sins, but if you're preaching the big talk and you're like pushing Christianity on your kids super hard, but they don't see it in your actions and in your spirit and in how you live your life, they run really far away from the Lord and they end up lost and confused because they can't separate their, honestly, piece of garbage father from the actual law of the Lord. And this is the type of stuff, it's like, I guarantee you there's not a single person here that's gonna look at those people and say, oh, I like Christians more than I used to. They're gonna hate Christians more, they're gonna hate God more. Like, in my opinion, it's evil what they're doing. Because if they were sitting there talking uncomfortable parts of the Bible, confronting people, I'd be fine. But screaming through a megaphone over gospel music and no one can even make out a single word that they're saying, how in the world is that good? I had a nice convo with the guy, but I'm like, dude, I really don't get what you're doing here, and I feel like you're just pushing people further away from the Lord. What do you guys think? Is that a good strategy to show up with a bunch of signs screaming on a megaphone over live music so nobody can enjoy the music? Is that going to bring people to the Lord? Is that good to make people uncomfortable and shove this in their face? Maybe it is. Maybe my take's off and maybe someone has a better perspective. Let me know what you think. God bless you guys, and that's my view. I mean, just an interesting thing that happened.
This life. Stop listening to music that gets you so emotional. We live